Hi guys, welcome back to the Pencil Design. My name is Vinay Unyal, and in today's class we are going to discuss a very important NID previous year question, right? So I'm going to discuss about in a practical manner this question which came in 2024 in NID. The question is asking you sketch a 3D composition with a laptop, a mouse, and a coffee mug. Ensure stability. So let's discuss the question's meaning first of all. Your journey begins understanding the NID challenge, right? So the NID 2024 Design Aptitude Test presented a unique challenge, which is they are asking you to sketch a 3D composition, which should be quite stable, of a laptop, mouse, and a coffee mug, right? Ensuring stability, which means you guys are using the correct techniques. This isn't just about drawing, it's about problem solving through the design. What does it mean? You guys will be drawing something and learning the new technique, and later you guys can apply that technique to a different kind of question. Okay. So in this section, I'm going to discuss with you that there are some drawing material which are required to make this type of illustrations, right? So first thing first, the pencil. You can use either one. Next is an eraser, sharpener, ruler, drawing sheet. A4 is quite preferred. And optional mechanical drawing pencil. You guys can use 0.7 mm. That is one of the good pencils, right? So I'm going to discuss the practical part of this, in which you guys need to first draw the outlines, as you can see on this A4 size paper. I'm going to use 2-point perspective for this. First of all, I will draw the basic structure of my laptop by using 2-point perspectives, right? So there are certain lines coming from the vanishing point 1 as well as vanishing point 2. You guys can clearly see in this video. Now we can make this laptop look a little bit more 3D, and we'll add other details as well. You guys can notice all the lines are from vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. Sometimes when we make these kind of illustrations, we make sure that the points are not quite visible. Once you learn the advanced perspective drawing technique, you guys will be able to identify the points out of the space, right? So let's add other details as well. The keyboard. So this is advanced perspective, in which we use the vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2, sometimes diagonal lines, and other required details. You guys can clearly observe this in this video. Add as much as possible details for you so that it will look quite perfect, the object you are making. That is, we have a laptop. And trust me, drawing a laptop is not a very difficult thing. It is like drawing a notebook. It's as simple as a notebook. Now we'll add a little bit more details. Erase the corners. We'll make them connected with the help of curved lines rather than using the sharp edges. And we'll make sure the intensity of the pencil should remain the same throughout the drawing. And we can add slightly more details, as I'm adding here the graphics on the screen and the USB ports. The camera, and we'll erase the extra lines. Now, once you are done, we will get to the next object, right? Let me add the intensity of the pencil. Now I'm going to make a mouse that I'm using 2-point perspective and making a cuboid and slightly converting this cuboid into multi-point perspective. So I'm using one more point slightly downwards. And My freehand drawing skills are very, very important to give the shape of this mouse. You can make any kind of mouse. There are a number of designs. I'm making the very basic one, which is quite easy for anybody to draw this, right? And we can add the mouse pad as well. And I'm adding the details in this mouse. So it's not mandatory all the time that you have to do the proper sketching. Rather than we can add some diagonal lines and show slightly rendering. Now, next thing is the coffee mug, which is asked in the question. So I'm going to use the mirror image method technique to draw this with the perfection, right? And we'll add slightly diagonal lines to make this look more 3D and feels like it's made of ceramic. So let me clear this area, and I'm going to add the diagonal lines in this coffee mug. You guys can see clearly. And it is always recommended to add the shadows. Do not add a lot of proper blending techniques, but somehow you guys can use the hatching technique, which is preferred, because these are the illustration related to the product design and your understanding of the proportion, so that you guys should know the size of a mouse, laptop, and a coffee mug. We can have multiple choices, so you can show your talent, you can show your skills that you learn, and you guys can achieve good marks in the exam, right? So I'm going to add the details now in the mouse so that it will look more 3D and a perfect product design part. As I told you earlier that if they're asking you one question, there will be multiple answers for the same question. So there are variation in the design. You guys can select any kind of different design, a laptop, mouse, and a coffee mug. And this is the final illustration we have. You guys can also try this and try to make a laptop, mouse, and a coffee mug as I explained you. Okay. Now, in this section, I will discuss with you guys that what is the significance of learning these techniques. So basically, we use various techniques. One was perspective drawing, another one was the mirror image method, and the third one was the hatching technique. That is the part of rendering, right? So it will help you to build strong observation and proportion sense. It will help you to improve perspective and spatial understanding of the objects, right? Enhance visual communication skills, develop speed and accuracy for timed exam. As we know that in examinations like NID, NIFT, NATA, they will give you a specific time to draw something. So the technique learning is more important. If once you know the technique, you guys will be able to draw almost everything. Whatever they are asking you, it will not be a very difficult thing for you, right? Now, the essential for creative expression and design problem solving. Sometimes they ask you a question, design a coffee mug for a 5-year-old child. So if you know the technique called mirror image method and the perspective, you guys can either use either one, or you guys can combine them and create a new interesting product, right? These techniques are from those techniques which are important to form the foundation for NIFT and NID, NIFT, NATA, UCEED, CEED, BFA, and other equivalent examinations. So whatever they are asking you, techniques are the same. Techniques will remain the same. Application will vary, right? So fine. This is the end of this lecture. I hope you liked this class, which was related to NID previous year question 2024. If you guys looking to make your portfolio building and wanting to learn different type of art forms so that you guys can clear your examination, at Pencil Design, we help you to achieve your score for NID, NIFT, UCEED, BFA, and NATA. And we give you the personalized guidance, tailored workshop, and one-on-one mentorship. So our task is to turning aspiring artists into design professionals. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching this. You guys have a very wonderful day. Bye bye.